Hi, it's Phil here from Now Fix It, and in this video I'm going to show you how to fix an E22 fault on your dishwasher. Now, an E22 fault is a really common error on the Neff, Siemens and Bosch dishwashers and a few other brands as well, so if you've got one of these, this video is definitely going to help you. Now, when the E22 fault comes on, then your machine will often just stop mid-cycle and you think, oh, here we go, this is going to be a massive problem. But I guarantee you this is going to be the easiest fix that you've ever done. And it works about 95% of the time on the Neff, Siemens and Bosch dishwashers. So let's get straight to it and I'll show you what the issue is and how to fix it. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is knock off your machine. You don't have to bother unplugging it, just the power button's enough for this, because we're not going to be delving in too deeply. Get it opened up. If you're lucky, your dishes are pretty clean. It depends on when it stopped in the cycle. Mine are actually looking pretty good, so maybe I won't have to run it again after this. But if you do have a whole load of dirty dishes here, don't bother unloading them all. Just grab hold of this rack and just lift it and put it off to one side. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. So an E22 error on your dishwasher is often caused by a blocked internal filter. So all we have to do is move this arm out of the way, if it was in the way. And this is your internal filter here. Okay, so here's how to remove your internal filter on a dishwasher. So you just grab hold of it and usually you'll turn it anti-clockwise. About a quarter to half a turn, and then the whole thing will lift out like this. Now you may be thinking to yourself, oh, this filter doesn't look too bad, surely that hasn't stopped my machine. But don't be fooled. This little bit of a film that you can see here, even though it feels really fine and not much of a problem, that's definitely your issue. So let's get this up into the sink and I'll show you the best way of cleaning this filter. You'll have to excuse the mess, my dishwasher's not working, and that's why you're here too. Okay, so here's our filter here, and this cartridge, if you just pull gently on it, it'll just come straight off. Just like that. And that makes it a lot easier to clean. Now let's start with this bit. This isn't as dirty. But it's definitely worth still giving it a bit of a clean. And what I found the best cleaning method is using one of these brushes, which you might use for your dishwashing anyway, and then just washing up liquid, because a lot of the residue on here is kind of like greasy buildup, and washing up liquid's really good at cutting grease. And I'm just going to give this a bit of a scrub, and just the mesh cover, just giving that a bit of a clean too. Now what I've got here is just an old toothbrush, and I'll use it for all sorts. You might have seen it in some of my other videos, but it's just super handy for getting in places. Okay, so now we're going to give this a really good rinse. Just found a bit of string in there, so we'll get rid of that too. And I'm just using some warm water, because again, that'll help take the grease away a little bit better as well. Now when we get to the element, I'm going to rinse off the worst of it first, just to make my job easier. Okay, so that'd probably work now. But if you get it even cleaner, then it'll last longer before you have to clean it again. Now I wouldn't actually use this big boy scrubber, because actually these are really stiff. So it was okay on the housing, which is quite strong, but the mesh in here is quite fine, and so you might risk damaging it. But you guessed it, a little toothbrush is perfect because the bristles are quite soft. So I'm just going to put a little bit more washing up liquid on there. And then I'm just going to get down into all of these louvers. Now this might seem a bit like swabbing the decks, hard labour, but it's actually pretty fast, you know. And you'll be the house hero once you've done this, because the dishwasher will be working again. Family life can go back to normal. Just going to speed this up for you now, because you guys get the idea. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, the access is really good on the inside for the brush to just quickly get into these grooves. Let's give it a good rinse down with our hot water. Okay, so that's looking a lot better, isn't it? So let's get this reassembled and we can get it back in the machine. And actually reassembly is really easy, because this filter element is symmetrical, so you can put it on either way. So all you have to do is push it on and then it'll click into place, just like that. So there you go, that should have fixed your E22 fault, but let's get it reinstalled back into the machine and then we can test it out. Okay, so reinstallation's pretty easy. The only thing you have to note is this part of your filter is really narrow and this bit's quite wide, and the narrow bit goes to the back. So we're going to drop that into place, just like that. And of course, you guessed it, a little turn clockwise and you'll feel it snick into place. And you'll know you've done it correctly because these two arrows will line up. So they're a good reference for you. Okay, so all we need to do now is chuck these dishes back in. There we go. And then we can give this machine a test. Now regarding the E22 Fault Reset, what you'll find is on most of these dishwashers, once you fix the original problem, the next time you power up the machine, it will do the reset automatically. So if we go ahead and turn this on now, as you can see, the machine's ready to go and it's just waiting for us to choose the next cycle. Okay, so that's all there is to it really. That's how to fix an E22 fault on a Neff Siemens or Bosch dishwasher. So hopefully this video helped you get your dishwasher going again and maybe it even saved you from having an expensive call out. If it did, then please drop me a comment. I love to hear about it when my videos help people, and to be honest, it's the reason why I do them. And if you'd like to see more of my content, then please consider subscribing and clicking the bell, and YouTube will notify you when I have a new video out. All there's left to say is, you've watched the video, now fix it. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you next time.